be. But then there was an incident in May of 2023 where 3 teenagers right here in Prince George's County ran into a school bus, tried to shoot another teen. And thankfully, they weren't able to because the gun jammed. But because of that, the state's attorney, Aisha Braveboy, reached out and we had lunch. And she said, Vennard, what can technology do to keep this from happening again in the future? So did research, saw that there were a couple of players in the market, but that there was certainly room for another player to develop some technology that could keep that from happening again in the future, which is where the idea came from. So what we've been focused on since then is not just building that technology, but seeing what we could do to differentiate and make that technology better. So we were able to get the product working quickly. Part of it is because I do have the technology background. I talked about the fact that I've been a software developer, put these big projects in place. So there was those confluence of factors where I was able to get it up and running pretty quickly. That's right. Than another person would. So yeah, people were saying, "How could you do it that fast?" That's why. Yeah. Once again,
that hard working from the beginning, that hard work in the past. That's why you can never sleep on that hard work.
That's right.
It's going to be used one day. It's going to be tested.
And you don't know when.
And you don't know when.
You don't know when.
So if it makes sense something, I don't know if you like rap music, but if it makes sense something, I know if you're a spiritual person. I'm a spiritual guy. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. You get gems from the spirit realm, and you just watch them and keep it to yourself, and eventually it'll be tested.
That's right.
Is that what would you say that's?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm always looking around, I'm always observing, I'm always taking, so leaving and coming from work, I don't listen to music. I listen to audiobooks, podcasts. I'm always, everyone has something that you can learn from. Everyone, literally everyone. So
even your child.
Yeah, everyone. My children have taught me probably the most.
I'm learning from my 3 right now.
Yeah. So I have 4 adult children.
Okay.
4 adult children.
Boys, girls, what do you have?
3 girls and a boy.
Wow.
And, so I was down with my son, who's a Marine gunnery sergeant, over the weekend. Wow. I was with him over the weekend. And I have to admit, he finally passed me in barbecue.
Okay.
He took him to his barbecue is the real deal.
His barbecue is nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
So I can learn. I can learn a lot from each one of my 4 kids.
Nice.
But you have to be receptive, and you have to let go of the ego. Ego keeps us from learning because you feel like you know everything. I don't.
If you know everything, you're never going to learn.
Yeah. I always want to learn.
You gotta learn. I'm there finally in life in my brain. But when you have babies, they just make you everything just shifts in your brain. Yeah. How old were you when you had your first child? You don't mind me asking.
I was 20. I was 22. My oldest daughter. Yep.
So you were like, I got to get this going.
Yeah, and that's a big part of the reason why there was always this sense of urgency, because it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
So if I didn't get married, if I didn't have children at an early age, I wouldn't be where I am. There's no way. First of all, I didn't.
That was guiding you.
Absolutely.
That was part of the process.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
And so I had the example of 2 hardworking parents who said, okay, number 1, be married, put everything into your children, be a responsible parent. So I had those examples. And my wife came from a similar background. So, yeah.
From the area as well?
She's from Clinton, that's right. Where we live now.
Maryland.
That's right.
All that Maryland.
That's right. Absolutely.
I love the state. This is my favorite state.
Yeah.
I've been around. I lived in Miami. I've traveled around the Americas, and I always come back here.
Yeah.
I even left here for a while, and there's just something like here. I just don't feel it anywhere else. And I always tell my wife this is my favorite thing. I've seen a brother in a Lamborghini pull by me. I love that. Yeah. That makes me feel like I could get a Lamborghini too.
Well, I was at a party yesterday with a guy who's a government contractor, and he has this big party every year. So yesterday he had Dougie Fresh at his house. Last year he had Maya and Raheem Devon. But one of the things is he has a Lamborghini parade. So there's like 10 Lamborghinis out front. I didn't even take a picture this year because I had seen it last year.
You see it so many times.
Yeah, 10 Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, Bentleys, you name it, they're out there.
Yeah.
And these are all people that are right here in this area.
Love
to
it.
your point.
Love it.
To your point.
That's
I
what
know
I
you saw a
love.
lot of it down in Miami, but there's a good amount of it here.
In Miami, that's right to them.
That's right. Yeah, but here they own.
Yeah, they own.
Yeah, they own.
Even if you lease them,
Or they lease them. That's right.
Because you should.
That's right.
Give it back.
That's right. That's right.
Break it and give it back to them.
That's right. That's right.
Anything you want to bring up, you want to talk about that you have not never covered maybe in an interview? Anything that you feel like you never got to say?
Well, one of the things that I'm becoming more unapologetic about, and part of the reason why I started working for myself, is to be able to say that people that are diverse, and like I said, I'm staying away from that word minority because we're not minorities.
I like that.
Are capable of delivering at the highest level. And that's a message that I'm going to start being more vocal about.
That's right.
So when you take a look at artificial intelligence, which is what my company, we're not just consumers of artificial intelligence, we produce artificial intelligence.
And how is it? I read why it is, but how is it AI? How is it artificial intelligence product?
So yeah, we use computer vision. Computer vision is a form of artificial intelligence. What it's doing is making a match based on what it sees against our database. So our database in this case is firearms. So it goes frame by frame. So any surveillance camera that connects to the internet, we can run a stream from that surveillance camera into our platform. It's in the cloud, and it's looking all the time. And if it sees anything it believes is a gun, then it kicks off a series of events. So that's number one. But then it gets better over time because it's always optimizing to get that confidence level higher. That's machine learning. Machine learning. So we use computer vision and machine learning. There are a lot of technical things that I'm not going to bore people with, but those are the two.
One thing that I like that you stated in one of your interviews was, as long as the camera has an IP, your software works with that camera.
That's right.
So you don't have to have the newest of all.
Well,
to a certain extent, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So one of the limitations is what the camera can see. So an 8 megapixel camera is going to be better than a 2 megapixel camera. A newer 8 megapixel camera is better than an older 8 megapixel camera. So you know the bubble cameras?
Yeah.
Those tend to fog up over time.
Yeah.
So if it's fogged up, then it's not going to be able to recognize the same way a newer, clear dome camera will be able to. So there are limitations, and it's tied to the equipment. But essentially, any new camera that connects to the internet, we will be able to detect. It's just the detection distance is a little bit different depending on what the camera is.
But if they had more cameras, like say in the exterior,
right,
it will be better to their advantage because now you're seeing this from the parking lot before it enters your building.
Absolutely, and that's where it works best.
Yeah.
So in this building, as you saw, maybe he was at the front desk, maybe he wasn't. But we have an armed security guard down there. But the thing is, by the time an armed gunman comes into the building, it's too late. If he's walking into the building with an AR-15 and that guy's down there with a 9mm, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
But if there is a camera on the outside that's picking up this guy walking up with an AR-15, not only can he be notified, but police can be notified and be dispatched. So yeah, it is a holistic solution is going to be exterior cameras and interior cameras as well.
And they get emails, SMS,
that's right.
All that.
That's right. Absolutely.
So there's no way of you not getting information that's coming.
That's right. And so the thing is, because we do kick up alerts in the platform, but the security guards are human. Sometimes they look away, they might not see it. They might get up and go to the bathroom, but they have their phone.
Yeah.
So you get that email, you get that SMS message, and it says firearm detected.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point. And in addition to that, we're monitoring as well. So we're getting those alerts.
So you also have a knob.
That's right. We do. Yeah. So we're getting the alerts, and we can kick off a series of events if the security guard misses. Well, whether the security guard misses it or not, because we're verifying that that is a firearm. That is a firearm. That's not a camera tripod. That's not a crutch. That's a person carrying a gun.
And one thing that I was intrigued about was the word bias in this technology. You're removing the biases. Explain that a little further.
Yeah, so that can be taken a few different ways. So I'll go all the way back to the beginning. So the reality is that it's fairly monolithic in terms of who AI developers are. AI developers tend not to be black.
What about diversity?
Yeah, so it's Indian developers and some white developers, not a lot of black people.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're looking at anomalous behavior, things that look suspicious, in black culture, there are just certain things that we do.
That looks suspicious.
And it looks suspicious. It's not suspicious to me and you.
That's just him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just him.
Yeah, but if you're not familiar with black culture, then you're flagging that as anomalous behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's important from the very beginning as you're developing these things to make sure that your team is diverse.
Mm-hmm.
So things that might not look suspicious to you, like I said, look suspicious to someone else, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else might do something, and you're like, this guy looks kind of sketchy, but it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But to me and you, it looks suspicious.
Yeah.
So that's where it's helpful from that point. But then in addition to that is making sure your data sets are not coded in one way. So if you're looking at someone carrying a gun and, you're putting in there that it's all Hispanic guys, and that's what your data set is. And every time you see a Hispanic, then that confidence level is at 90% whether the person has a gun or not, then that's a bias that's built into it. So, what I try to do to make sure that's not happening is to make sure different people are carrying the firearms, different ages, different sizes, different lighting. You have to. You have to. So you have to anticipate what bias can be built into it and try to account for it.
AI.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Absolutely.
I'm bought in. I'm
It's
using
here.
it.
It's here.
I'm using it. I'm using it for art. I'm using it for writing. I'm really, and even some people are programming and don't know how to program. It's intriguing me because I'm one that I kind of get it, but if something could help me, why not? You know what I mean? Maybe I can create something.
That's smart.
Wow.
That's smart. I mean, so here's the thing. I mean, we all know the saying, work smarter, not harder.
Amen.
So AI allows you to work smarter and
It
get a
does.
whole lot more done. So it really democratizes what a small company like mine can do versus a large company. So yeah, you just have to be smart about how you use it.
So, and eventually you're going to move into residential.
I am.
So how would that work with, like say the companies like, I don't want, there's companies that monitor homes,
Absolutely.
AT.
Yeah.
How would that
Work with
production with
Yeah, so that's part of what is a part of our business model, and not to expose too much, but
of course.
a big part of what we're trying to do is to make sure we have a service that these companies can use as well. So yeah, the reality is they have a footprint of hundreds of thousands of customers.
Yeah.
So the quickest way to get market penetration is to work with them.
So now I can be at home and ADTs, because they I have cameras in my
That's
home,
right.
and they're monitoring those cameras as
That's
well.
right.
They can let me know
That's right.
someone's coming into my home with a weapon.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
going to be amazing.
And as you can see from clips all over the internet, this is becoming more and more of an issue.
Yes, it is.
So it's a big difference between person detected and person with firearm detected. There's a difference between the two. So yes, you do want to know that the Amazon person is coming up to your front door to drop the package off so you can go out there and get it. But you also want to know that what you think is an Amazon person coming up to the front door is actually someone with a gun. So yeah, there's a difference between the two.
And you're training the AI to just tell, bulges and, how to carry.
Yeah, so right now we are staying away from concealed carry for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Now, one thing that people need to be, may or may not be aware of is that in 90% of active shooter events, the person is producing the gun. This gun is coming up in plain sight.
Okay.
And in a lot of high-profile school shootings, it's
just
an
walked
AR-15. It's an AR.
in with
This is a big gun.
Yeah, I've seen AR. I've seen it.
Yeah. So they're walking.
I live in Miami.
Yeah, right.
It's like normal. You walk down the neighborhood,
right.
like, what is going on?
That's right.
Yeah.
So in that case, you should be notified. Now, if any part of the gun is showing, we can, make a determination. Hey, but the confidence level might be 60% in that case instead of 90%. And, we actually kick off the series of events once we're sure it's a gun, which means that it has to be produced.
Well, you're going to stop a percent. So do you have any wins so far?
No, we're still too new to have the wins.
Okay.
It's one of those things where the first win we get, we explode. It's in place and ready for that win.
But that's what hopefully nothing. But you stopped it. You deterred it.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing about the DMV, about this area? What's your favorite thing about being?
Well, one of the things, I would say the favorite thing is there's a little bit of just about everything. You know, so if you're into nature, we have mountains, we have beaches. But in addition to that, you have the Kennedy Center for the Arts, Shakespeare Theater, you know, all of these arts places, great food, you know, very diverse in terms of the people. You have museums. I mean, there's just everything here. You know, so we take it for granted growing up here.
Yeah, we do.
But when you go away and you take a look at other areas and you're looking for a certain thing,
you can't find it
there.
Everything
is here.
We have everything you need, but you can't take it for granted. That's why I tell some of you, yeah, go away for a little bit, but then when you go away, keep thinking about here. And then when you come back, you'll understand how powerful this place is.
Yeah. I'll tell you something else I really like about this area too. So I said I've been in IT for 30 years. At that, and you know, at a high level, it was all here. So how many areas where can you say that you had that many careers, that many jobs at a high level in one place?
Many cannot. I meet a lot of CE members that travel around the world to get to where you're at.
Yeah.
They travel
all here.
It is all here.
That's right.
That's awesome.
As a black man.
As a
black man.
There is no reason we cannot bring ourselves up at all.
Totally agree. Yeah, and that's what I say. You know, so I don't take excuses from anyone. You know, so as you saw earlier,
but you train them too.
I have a young team.
Yeah, you train them as well.
But guess what? When they come in here, they go through the gauntlet.
I bet.
So when you work with me, because I know what's necessary to be at sea level.
They all look sharp. They
are sharp.
They all look very sharp.
They can't work here if they're not.
That's right.
I'm not going to compromise. You know why? Because I don't have to.
Yeah.
Why should I have to compromise because I hire black people? I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. I think we can push as far as we like,
That's right,
as high as we like, and we can compete at any level.
That's right.
As anyone else.
That's right.
And being from where we're from, even more reason why we will succeed at that level. Because you just remember where you're from. Remember how hard it was to get out of there. And you're not there.
That's right. That's right. And I did it not having an advanced degree, not coming from, like I said, a white class.
But you're a Smith School graduate.
I'm a Smith School graduate. I am. But I was also, you know, not the white class, not the white collar background. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood that some would say is sketchy. You know, it's all of these different things, and I succeeded in spite of it. You know, so that's why I know that people coming from, certainly people coming from like Upper Marlboro and Bowie, there's no reason why you can't succeed coming out of those neighborhoods. Yeah. So I don't believe in excuses. Get it done.
Yeah, get it done. Get it done. Get it done. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you maybe a few more questions.
Sure, please.
And I know you have to leave in a little bit because you have an appointment.
Yeah.
So my favorite question to ask everyone, your 3 top motivators in life that keep you going when the chips are down, and what are those top 3 that keep, and why?
I love that question, man. I love that question. Really love that question. So number 1, I have been in situations where money has been tight. Know what that feels like. That motivates me. You know, that fear of being broke.
Man, I know.
I mean, that's a motivator, man.
Yeah,
that's a motivator.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm always running scared.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm afraid that, you know, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Number 2 is there are people that are counting on me. You know, so, you know, I raised money through WeFunder, and these are all people that believed in this idea. So that keeps me going. I don't want to let them down. You know, that don't want to let them down, don't want to let my family down, friends, people that are just saying, yeah, you can do it. So those dark days where you're like, this isn't going the way I want it to, then I can't because people believe in me. I've got to get it done. You know, and then the third is the competitive side comes out. You know, because there are people that said I couldn't do it.
That's right.
You know, whether they said it to my face, said it behind my back.
You got that Michael Jordan complex.
Yeah, okay, you don't, let me prove you wrong.
That's right.
Let me prove you wrong.
That's right. Did you watch Michael Jordan documentary?
Absolutely, I did.
How'd you like that?
I loved it.
It was amazing.
I loved it. I mean, and I think the world
he
needs more
fueled
of that
himself with anything.
Yeah.
He said something about me in the paper, the Puerto Rican basketball player, I believe it was, and he said, I got him. What are you talking about, Mike? And he dominated him. But he used that. I mean, I was a Knicks fan growing up. Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite sport?
It's track and field.
Like track and field.
Track and field.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't know too much about track and field.
Yeah, I know a lot. I'm a USA track and field coach.
You're a trainer.
Yeah.
You're a trainer. You made some stars.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about that?
It's an individual sport.
Okay.
It doesn't lie.
Okay.
Doesn't lie.
You cannot fake that.
Doesn't lie.
You can't pass that off to
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah. So football, and I played football, but
That's
it's
what
11
I'm
people on
saying.
the field. It's
Yeah.
11 people.
Uh-huh.
So, I can, as a strong safety, I can put it on the linebacker. I could put it on the defensive end. I could put it on the cornerback. With track, when you run that 100, it's you. If you came in last, that wasn't your relay. That was you.
That was all
you did that.
Who's your favorite track star right now?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm right now. I would say a Tingmu. So she runs. I think she might be. I know she's of African descent. I can't remember what country, but she runs the 800.
Okay.
So I've seen a Tingmu in person. She ran against my daughter, and I would like to say my daughter was competitive. Yeah. She wasn't. The race was over after about 100 meters.
Wow.
But just to see someone that incredible in person.
It's something like watch. I hate to say this word, but I say like godly, almost like angelic.
Yeah.
When you see someone with the gift,
that level of talent. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
That's why I allow sports players, and I even put C members on this one, to be cocky. I don't want to buy into a company or to a team that's not confident.
Yeah.
You should feel like you're number one.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've seen two athletes that have equal talent. They run the 100, they're equal speed. But in the 800, one will destroy the other. And it comes down to this. I believe I can beat you. When it starts to hurt, I'm going to push through it, and I'm going to push longer than you can. Same thing with being a CEO. Same thing with being a CIO. Any C level, it's up here. So what happens when adversity rears its head? And it's going to. It's inevitable.
It has to.
No one stays up.
Yeah.
But also no one stays down.
Yeah.
So when you're down, what is your mindset going to be? Are you going to be defeated, or are you going to figure out a way out? Are you going to figure out a way to win when you're losing right now? Right now you're losing. Now, one thing I tell people, I don't believe in failure. I know people, it's okay to fail. No, for me it's not. Not for me. Doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, but that doesn't mean I failed. For me, failure means there's no way out. It's catastrophic. Game over. I don't believe in that. So what I'm trying to do is to make sure that I learn from those mistakes, and that eventually, even though we had a bit of a setback right here, that we still end up winning.
That's right.
So that's my mindset. And I say it all the time. I don't believe in failing. I don't. I'm allergic to it.
Yeah, that's right. I don't believe in it either.
Yeah.
Thank you for
sitting
down with me.
Thank you.
Hopefully we do this again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And, we are now moving into a new studio space. We haven't decided what we're going to do, but I would love to have you on again. This is great information. Even speak to your students sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see how they're going to be the future of this area.
That's right.
Because I'm tired of the brain drain here.
That's right.
I think that's one thing that we're going through right now. We're going through brain drain. I just had two college graduated. My cousin just graduated college, and they moved. And I'm like, man, right here, you can do it right here. I'm telling you, stay right here. We could do something here, especially in Prince George's County.
I agree, and that's my goal. So one of the things I'm working on is something called Tech Prince George's, where by the year 2030, we want to get Prince George's County back to being the wealthiest minority county in the country by focusing on technology as the preferred industry. But in order for that to happen, you can't just have small businesses. You've got to have large tech companies so there are careers here. Yeah. So your cousins don't leave. Yeah. They go to work for the local tech company.
That's the goal. That's the goal, man. I am all for. Let me know how I can help.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to push this message.
Thank you.
All gas, no brakes. We believe in this.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be
Thank
here.
you. And I love the title.
Thank you.
All gas, no brakes.
No brakes. BREAKS. We take
That's
no
right.
breaks.
That's right.
No, we pump them softly sometimes.
Yeah.
But we still don't take no breaks.
Well, if we don't, your body will make you take that break.
Especially when you get older.
That's right. Yeah. We're not getting any younger.
We're going to start heading out. Anything you want to okay, what advice would you give? You know what? There's a few things I want to talk about. Well, I'm going to talk about one and we're going to let you go. Math. I heard a young lady here.
Yeah.
I feel like that's our first step.
Yeah.
That issue with math. We got to get past math.
I do agree.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, so here's the thing with math and why math is critical. So math, being strong in it, that way of thinking is fundamental for developing an AI.
Yeah.
Because in AI, you're building algorithms which tend to be mathematical in nature.
Yeah.
So it helps if you're good at math.
Yeah.
So yes, and math is one of those things. It challenges people. It challenged me, certainly.
Me as well.
But, when you defeat math instead of math defeating you, then it kind of cuts down this barrier. Oh, I was afraid of that and I got it done anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it unlocks this way of thinking. So it's not necessarily the math itself, because I don't remember any of that trigonometry and calculus, but it was one of the first times in school where I defeated something I didn't think I could defeat.
Yeah. And that built their confidence.
Yeah, so I tested in the calculus too going into college, and I have no idea how I did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I guessed all of the right answers, but somehow I did it.
No such thing as luck.
Well, I don't know. To this day, I don't know how I did that.
Yeah.
But to that point, it set me on a path where I was able to be in the Smith School of Business.
Wow. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Not easy. Not
no,
easy.
It wasn't. And it's not easy to stay in.
You have to do well in math before
That's
you get in
right.
there.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Very tough school to get into. I got into.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations to you too.
By the skin of my teeth. Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
Quick story how I got in. I made everyone I know on earth write me a letter of recommendation, no matter who they were, big or small, age or whatever, to the dean of the school.
Nice.
That's how I got in.
Well, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
That's something to be said. So when someone tells you no, how are you going to turn that no into a yes?
That's it.
Yeah.
And I feel like math will help you do that.
That's right.
Once you conquer it, because it's not truthfully the numbers, not the it's how you break down the problem.
Right. That's right. Yeah. That's absolutely right. And that's one of the things that I actually learned after I got out of school, how to decrypt numbers and formulas. So I do some things in my head, and I play around with little games to make the numbers make sense. I wish I knew it in school, because in school I was learning what I thought the teacher was teaching. But then after I got rid of the fear, then I found creative ways to have a healthy relationship with math.
Man. All gas, no brakes, man. Vennard Wright doing his thing over here, taking over the world, conquering.
I'm trying.
No, you're going to conquer.
I'm trying.
You will conquer.
I appreciate that.
This is inevitable. This technology is ridiculous. I think that's going to be phenomenal. We need it.
Yeah.
It's going to save lives. It's going to save children. It's going to save people, homes eventually.
Yep.
So,
that's right.
Yeah, this is going to be dope.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be a part of the ride.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you chose me to have this conversation.
Thank you for accepting me.
Yeah.
If you could let the people know where we can find you again. And guys, this isn't the end. Please check out Vennard. I'm going to put a lot of information on how to contact him here as well, and about your program as well. I want to share that as much as possible. And I might bring somebody to you.
Yeah, please do.
Let me know if they're sharp.
Yeah,
they gotta be sharp.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you can let them know where they can find you at and all that good stuff, please.
So I'm most active on LinkedIn. So Vennard, Vennard, Wright, W-R-I-T.
The only Vennard Wright.
That's right. So Vennard Wright on LinkedIn, and then also VennardW.com. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And I'm Super Saiyan Sanchi of All Gas No Brakes. That's my boy OG Frank back there. He's helping out. He's actually just watching the tech today. Got my man doing the tech. And thank you so much for being on the show. We're happy to have you. And please keep tuning in, keep subscribing. Thank you everybody all around the world that's been watching. Now we're here international. We're now in Netherlands, India, Denmark, France. Everybody's tuning in, and we're super excited, and the numbers are going through the roof. Appreciate it. Keep subscribing, keep tuning in, guys. All Gas No Break podcast. Super Saiyan Santi. Peace. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, all right.
Say sweet talk. What do you know about that all gas, no brakes?
Man, I heard about that all gas, no brakes. I don't think they gonna let me on. I ain't got a damn thing to talk about.
Fool, they talk about everything. This is all gas, no brakes. Don't step on the 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 brakes.
Apa, boy? Huh? Wala, ma, boy.